Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about two Spider-Man tie-ins into the Onslaught crossover. So we're going to cover Amazing Spider-Man issue 415 and Spider-Man issue 72. So without further ado, let's get into this. So this takes place during the Clone Saga era of Spider-Man, which I stayed away. I remember back in the day when the whole Clone Saga was in full swing, that the local editorial here in Argentina would just publish the bare minimum of Spider-Man titles. They knew that the Clone Saga was a dumpster fire and tried to stay as far away as possible. So in these particular issues, we have the situation where the original Peter Parker thought he was a clone, but he was the one married to Mary Jane. His powers during this time were sort of on the fritz. They were off and on. And the clone Spider-Man, Ben Reilly, thought he was the original and he was operating as Spider-Man during this time. Now, I do have to say that I really love the design of Ben Reilly's Spider-Man costume. I think it's so cool. So we're at the point in the Onslaught story where he has taken over Manhattan. There is an insane amount of Sentinels patrolling the streets, trying to hunt down as many superpowered beings as possible. So the story starts off with the original Peter being hunted down by one of these Sentinels. He's with Mary Jane. He has to escape with her. And I forgot to mention that during this time, Mary Jane was pregnant. And also, apparently, Aunt May had died. There were a lot of things going down during this particular era of Spider-Man. So after taking Mary Jane to safety, Peter Parker is having a real hard time with these Sentinels. They're pretty much relentless. And again, his powers are coming off and on randomly during the battles. While all this is going down, we have Ben Reilly also springing into action as Spider-Man, obviously. And he's doing much better battling against Sentinels, but they're a pretty tall order for a character like Spider-Man. Now, it's fascinating to see the contrast of Ben Reilly between these two issues. The first issue is written by Tom DeFalco. Ben is more happy-go-lucky in that issue, and in the second issue, written by Howard Mackie, he seems to be a pretty angry dude all the time, and he has some major issues, obviously, against Peter Parker. He acts more like a 90s character in the second one. Also, I have to mention that both issues have classic Spider-Man artists who are very different. In the first one, we have Mark Bagley. And in the second one, we have John Romita Jr. And the second issue starts off, and it's pretty funny. We have this establishing shot with Peter Parker. He's taking pictures for the Daily Bugle. And it's just ridiculous, the amount of Sentinels that are in Manhattan. They're almost standing shoulder to shoulder against each other. So what happens is, Ben Reilly Spider-Man had started fighting against Sentinels. This calls attention to many more Sentinels. They're hot on his trail now. Peter Parker has to jump in to save his clone. But during that time, he didn't know he was a clone. He thought he was the original. Again, man, the Clone Saga. So Pete saves Ben's life. Now they're on the run. When Ben Reilly gets blasted from behind, both characters fall down this chimney. It seems to be the original chimney where Peter Parker had thrown the clone way back in the original clone story. When Ben Reilly comes to, he realizes where they are. He sees Peter, tells him, "You left me here to die again, you bastard." We get a brief argument between both characters where the writer just wants to put a lot of emphasis that Ben Reilly's anger is totally justified. But Ben tells Peter Parker, "Look, you must go. Your wife is pregnant. You have to be a father." Because obviously, being a Peter Parker clone, he's going to do the honorable thing. So we get the setup for this last stand between Ben Reilly and the Sentinels. We get this fake out that Peter Parker had left, but obviously he didn't. He saves Ben Reilly at the last moment. In the last panel of the story, we have both characters seeking refuge in the sewers. So I'm going to leave this video here. Hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.